Hi, we're here to talk to you about the new NetBackup 5330 appliances and specifically in this instance about optimized deduplication, otherwise known as OpDupe. So we'll refer to it as OpDupe all the way through, force of habit. We know that with data growth, that deduplication, which has been around for a few years now, is pretty vital to organizations to reduce the amount of data that they're storing back end behind after the backup. But optimized deduplication, or OpDupe, is a specific enhancement to your deduplication strategy. And Derek, you're going to talk through that.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks, Gary. So to outline what OptDupe, or optimized deduplication, is, first you have to have the understanding of deduplication and file fingerprinting. So when we do a backup of a file and we pull it into one of our 5330 media servers for deduplication, we identify the entire file in segments and we break it up into identifiable blocks. These are called fingerprints. So these fingerprints are broken down and stored in the media server deduplication pool. So as unique identifiers on what a block of information looks like, we can then deduplicate it against everything else that we see that have matching block frames. So if it looks exactly like an A, we make an annotation on the master server to say if I need this file back, 2 of my files have things that look exactly like A, so pull them back. So in a nutshell, deduplication simply means store things once, refer to them as many times as we need to do a restore. So in the case of our media server deduplication, after we've stored this fingerprint database and we've taken all of our files, we've ingested them, we've compressed the amount of storage that's necessary by identifying unique file fingerprints, we can then restore it as a full image to anywhere that we want to go. In the case that you have multiple media servers, and in this case obviously we have 2 5330s drawn out, if we want to move the information about that backup from this appliance to this appliance, historically, you'd have to move the entire thing. Well, if you go back far enough, you'd have to move the entire file from point A to point B. In a deduplicated format, there's easier ways to do that. There's an economy of scale as your deduplication pool grows. So in our case, what we want to illuminate is if I want to move information about files from this appliance to this appliance, and I don't necessarily want to move all of the data or all of the fingerprints, what we can do is an optimized check. So we'll have this MSDP database, which is this, check against this database. And the differentials are obviously just 3 file fingerprints. So that's all we're going to send. So this one will ship fingerprint C, or the information controlling fingerprint C, over to that media server. We will then send over D, and we'll send G. And by doing this, we've cut down the amount of time that we need to transmit all of the data from one media server to the other. We've also limited the amount of horsepower that we need to take away from this 5330 to do other operations. There may be other backups going on, there may be restores going on, and there's things in our production environment we don't necessarily want housekeeping things to take away cycles from our machine. So in that case, we would use something like OptDupe that would obviously speed up the process and just make it a lot more efficient.
So effectively, what you're saying is the 5330 is a standalone deduplication pool.
Yes.
And to copy that across to here, all you're doing is moving the different boxes,
Absolutely.
Not the ones that are the same.
That's exactly right.
Obviously, with deduplication, there's quite a lot of processes going on here. As you're going through the deduplication process, you're also running backups, you may be doing restores. The 5330 is a fairly hefty box, a lot of processing power behind it, but this will enhance that whole process.
Absolutely.
Okay, Derek, that was fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.